Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Àwa sálára àgbà yìí dá, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè. Gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
They never sabi wetin we carry for her.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, kìnìún ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó lórí kodò bí àdán ọ̀pẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè tó Odùduwà ga.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wá.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí, ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí, ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀, àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Pé ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tiwa mọ́ ni.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé bùgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tiwa mọ́ ni.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tiwa mọ́ ni.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tiwa mọ́ ni.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koikimedia ọlọ́lá gbajúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé máa dé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ kájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀, àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ikú tí ó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you work closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o, tó ń kan gíoko lára ni.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà lágbé dání, òtítọ́ lágbé dání.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sóníkèéta.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A dúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia, we bring you work closer to your doorstep.
Àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Is around.
To give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Koikimedia.
Koikimedia.
Wow. 60 minutes with Koikimedia. We have just 60 minutes. Very good morning and welcome to our live transmission once again. As you're joining this program is to educate and prepare Nigerians about decision whether Nigeria unity is still working. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and as we continue to use our platform to bring the campaign and the awareness of the reasons why Yoruba people now needs to demand their right to self-determination. Today is the 10th day of the month of January 2025, and as we all say all the time, self-determination is an inalienable right under Article 3. Indigenous peoples have the right to self-determination. By the virtue of that right, they are freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic and social and cultural development. This morning, we will just be quickly looking at the poll that was put out yesterday, and this indicator is proving beyond doubt that many Nigerians do not want the unity of Nigeria to continue. And if that is the case, the question again then is, why do we delay the breakup of this union as quickly as possible? The Yorubas and the other indigenous people have been demanding and asking that the union that brought us together with the 1914 amalgamation has now expired in 2014, which is exactly almost 11 years ago. But rather than allow the union to dissolve, I'm talking about the 1914 amalgamation, we have continued to live in denial to keep this union together, and that is creating a lot of issues between different indigenous people in the current structure of Nigeria. Nigeria was merged together by the British in 1914 amalgamation, and as these amalgamation continue to prove death, pain, and many other obstacles to the indigenous people, many indigenous people have now rise up to question this union of the 1914 amalgamation, if it is still worth keeping it together. But rather than allow the union to dissolve, many have refused to let the union to be dissolved peacefully, so that every Nigerian that are called indigenous people can go back and decide if they can build their own independent country. We have been told lies by the politicians. We have continued to be told that the union is far better than breaking up the current construction of this fake amalgamation. But let us first listen to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Jonathan, as he was telling Nigerians about the union, that it's only the British intention to keep Nigeria together as a country. This is coming from a former president that knows far better that the union failed, yet while he was in office, he did not much to allow this union to be dissolved so that everybody can go their separate ways. You're listening to Koikimedia live, 10th of January 2025, coming up to 20 minutes past 5 a.m. in London. Let's listen to what Jonathan has to say.
Thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country.
You heard Jonathan quite well in that particular video. The question this morning then is, are Nigerians also asking for the breakup? We will look into that briefly, because many Nigerians have spoken in what we can call an independent poll that came out yesterday from a blogger known as Tunde Ednot. And that poll has generated quite a lot of conversation around the unity after Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho asked again while he was in London during the New Year period whether Nigeria should be one country. Let's go and listen and see as many as voted around this particular poll, as many continue to ask whether the unity of Nigeria will stand and for how long before it breaks up. We all know definitely that Nigeria is a fake country, is a business center, and as day goes every day, it kills many lives. And if we do not end Nigeria, Nigeria might end you at some point. Let's take a look at this, of how Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho in this particular clip.
Mo rí pé a rí Canadian, Egyptian, India, oríṣiríṣi ìlú. Ṣé èdè kan ni gbogbo wọn sọ bàbá mi?
Ìyẹn papọ̀ jọra wọn rárá. Rárá. How many countries ló ń sọ English? Àlèkà. Bóyá ló pé 5. Kálukú ń sọ èdè tiẹ̀ tán fi ń tún wọn sí. Ẹ̀rọ ọ̀sán àti owó ìgbà báyìí tó mú kínú yẹn tó kórè yẹn. Inú yẹn pọ̀ dídọ̀ security mẹ́. You understand? Wọ́n lè jí nǹkan ló báyìí. Anything, many things ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ní airport. Gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn kò jẹ́ kí ó kó múlò yẹn wú ká lè sọ pé kábọ̀lì mọ̀ pẹ́lá lọ́mọ Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn kò múnú yẹn dùn. Ọmọ ìlú òní ká lè sọ pé ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni tí wà ní dùn. Ìdí nìyẹn táwọn òfin kálukú máa lọ́lẹ̀ tí nígbà tí ó bá dẹ̀ ti wọ̀ tí gbogbo nǹkan yẹn ò ti kálukú pín náà. Bí a bá ti ẹ̀ pín, àwọn ọmọ tiwa tá a ní láwọn ọ̀dọ́ kéékèèké wọ́n á lè túlù wa sí fún wa. Gbogbo wọn náà sì wọ́n wà káàkiri ayé ọmọ Yorùbá pọ̀ káàkiri tí wọ́n ti rí a lot, tí wọ́n ti learn a lot. Tí wọ́n bá padà sórí èdè wọn ó lè bí ìdúrí nípa wọn tó fọ́ máa dàbí ibi táwọn náà ń gbé tẹ́lẹ̀.
Mo rí pé a rí Canadian, Egyptian, India, oríṣiríṣi ìlú. Ṣé èdè kan ni gbogbo wọn sọ bàbá mi?
Ìyẹn papọ̀ jọra wọn rárá. Rárá. How many countries ló ń sọ English? Àlèkà. Bóyá ló pé 5. Kálukú ń sọ èdè tiẹ̀ tán fi ń tún wọn sí. Ẹ̀rọ ọ̀sán àti owó ìgbà báyìí tó mú kínú yẹn tó kórè yẹn. Inú yẹn pọ̀ dídọ̀ sí.
This was the video that was posted by few bloggers and many other online and offline media across the country. This particular video was also captured by another blogger known as Linda Ikeji. And the same question was asked in that particular blog, that Yoruba, Igbo, others should go their separate ways if Nigeria isn't working. Sunday Igboho. Let's watch that again from another blog called Linda Ikeji.
Kálukú máa lọ́lẹ̀ tí nígbà tí ó bá dẹ̀ ti wọ̀ tí gbogbo nǹkan yẹn ò ti kálukú pín náà. Bí a bá ti ẹ̀ pín, àwọn ọmọ tiwa tá a ní láwọn ọ̀dọ́ kéékèèké wọ́n á lè túlù wa sí fún wa. Gbogbo wọn náà sì wọ́n wà káàkiri ayé ọmọ Yorùbá pọ̀ káàkiri tí wọ́n ti rí a lot, tí wọ́n ti learn a lot. Tí wọ́n bá padà sórí èdè wọn ó lè bí ìdúrí nípa wọn tó fọ́ máa dàbí ibi táwọn náà ń gbé tẹ́lẹ̀.
Mo rí pé a rí Canadian, Egyptian, India, oríṣiríṣi ìlú. Ṣé èdè kan ni gbogbo wọn sọ bàbá mi?
Ìyẹn papọ̀ jọra wọn rárá. Rárá. How many countries ló ń sọ English? Àlèkà. Bóyá ló pé 5. Kálukú ń sọ èdè tiẹ̀ tán fi ń tún wọn sí. Ẹ̀rọ ọ̀sán àti owó ìgbà báyìí tó mú kínú yẹn tó kórè yẹn. Inú yẹn pọ̀ dídọ̀ security mẹ́. You understand? Wọ́n lè jí nǹkan ló báyìí. Anything, many things ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ní airport. Gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn kò jẹ́ kí ó kó múlò yẹn wú ká lè sọ pé kábọ̀lì mọ̀ pẹ́lá lọ́mọ Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyẹn kò múlò yẹn dùn. Ọmọ ìlú òní ká lè sọ pé ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni tí wà ní dùn. Ìdí nìyẹn táwọn òfin kálukú máa lọ́lẹ̀ tí nígbà tí ó bá dẹ̀ ti wọ̀ tí gbogbo nǹkan yẹn ò ti kálukú pín náà. Bí a bá ti ẹ̀ pín, àwọn ọmọ tiwa tá a ní láwọn ọ̀dọ́ kéékèèké wọ́n á lè túlù wa sí fún wa. Gbogbo wọn náà sì wọ́n wà káàkiri ayé ọmọ Yorùbá pọ̀ káàkiri tí wọ́n ti rí a lot, tí wọ́n ti learn a lot. tó pé tí wọ́n bá padà sórílẹ̀-èdè wọn ó lè bí orílẹ̀-èdè wọn tó fọ́ máa dàbí ibi táwọn náà ń gbé tẹ́lẹ̀.
mo rí pé a rí Canadian, Egyptian, India oríṣiríṣi ìlú ṣé èdè kan ni gbogbo wọn sọ bàbá mi.
ìyẹn papọ̀ jọra wọn rárá how many countries ló ń sọ English àlèkà bẹ́ẹ̀ ló pé 5 kálukú ń sọ èdè tiẹ̀ tán fi ń tún wọn sí ẹ̀rọ ọ̀sán owó ìjọba ìtọ́jú nínú yẹn tó kórè yẹn.
You heard Igboho very well in that particular video that I produced while he was in London at the Heathrow airport. Now, many questions is being asked. Again, a tweet was posted by Koikimedia yesterday, and let's again see how the reaction of the same question by many Nigerians across board, whether we should save Nigeria or it is time that we allow Nigeria to dissolve peacefully so that we can decide if we want to remain as one or we want to go our separate ways. And these, so far, in just less than few hours after it was posted, it has 6 days, and we expect everybody to go and vote on this particular tweet that was posted on the Koikimedia Twitter handle, also known as X, yesterday. And this is the result so far. Looking at these graphs, the question that was posted yesterday was a very straightforward question. Chief Sunday Igboho says Nigeria should separate Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and the rest of the indigenous groups in Nigeria should have independent country. 90.6% said yes. 2.1% said no. 1% says I don't know, while 6.3% says the union is a failure. Now, let's go back and see how the vote was casted on the Tunde Ednot page. As at yesterday, what do you guys think about this statement? Do you support this statement by Sunday Igboho? What statement was Sunday Igboho saying? The statement whether we should remain as one unity Nigeria or we should separate peacefully. On the Tunde Ednot, an independent blogger, yesterday, 84% said yes, while 16% said no. That tells us something. That gives us the clarity that this union has failed, and many Nigerians want Nigeria to break. Fáǹfààní ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ bọ̀ látẹ̀kan, ní àná àwọn blogs méjì wọ́n pósìtì fídíò bàbá wa Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho tí Koikimedia record ní London nígbà tí wọ́n gba London kọjá during this period of the New Year. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún gbọ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ nínú fídíò yẹn tí a ti play tẹ́lẹ̀ kí a wá sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí nípa in táwọn èèyàn fẹ́ àti in tán sọ lórí àwọn blog méjèèjì látọ̀dọ̀ Tunde Ednot àti Linda Ìkejì bí bàbá wa olóyè Ìgbòho ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ rèé ní airport Heathrow, London.
tá a ní láwọn ọ̀dọ́ kéékèèké wọ́n á lè túlù wá sí fún wa gbogbo wọn náà sì wọ́n wà káàkiri ayé ọmọ Yorùbá pọ̀ káàkiri tí wọ́n ti rí a lot tí wọ́n ti learn a lot tó pé tí wọ́n bá padà sórílẹ̀-èdè wọn ó lè bí orílẹ̀-èdè wọn tó fọ́ máa dàbí ibi táwọn náà ń gbé tẹ́lẹ̀.
mo rí i pé a rí Canadian, Egyptian, India oríṣiríṣi ìlú ṣé èdè kan ni gbogbo wọn sọ bàbá mi.
ìyẹn papọ̀ jọra wọn rárá how many countries ló ń sọ English àlèkà bẹ́ẹ̀ ló pé 5 kálukú ń sọ èdè tiẹ̀ tán fi ń tún lọ sí ẹ̀rọ ọ̀sán owó ìjọba ìtọ́jú nínú yẹn tó kórè yẹn.
òun náà ni ẹ gbọ́ tí bàbá wa olóyè Ìgbòho tí wọ́n béèrè ní orí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tí ó fi di pé àwọn blog méjèèjì yìí Tunde Ednot àti Linda Ìkejì a máa ka àwọn comment tẹ lọ́kàlùkù náà ń sọ nínú ẹ̀ àmọ́ indicator ó jẹ́ kó yé wa pẹ̀lú etí ó jáde ní ọ̀dọ̀ Túndé Edna pé 84% as at yesterday. The number might have changed. I will be checking that later to see if that number has beat each other. But ní àná, tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ń sọ ni pé, I mean, àwọn Nigerians, not Yorùbá now, pé 84% wọ́n ní àjọṣepọ̀ wa pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà ó ti mẹ́hẹ pé kólúkálukú máa lọ nílùú ẹ̀ nítorí pé union yìí kò ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́. Kí lẹ̀yin náà rò sí àti pé kí ni ẹ̀yin sọ sí ọ̀rọ̀ náà? Mo ń kí gbogbo wa pé ṣé ká ṣì remain one Nigeria àbí kí olúkálukú máa lọ. Mo fẹ́ ká wo the percentage. 84% ló náwọn ò fẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́. Àwọn fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. Àwọn ò fẹ́ wà láàrin Nàìjíríà. Àwọn wo ni wọ́n make vote yìí? Kò ń ṣe Yorùbá nìkan. Gbogbo ẹ̀yà tó ń bẹ nínú Nàìjíríà tó láǹfààní láti wà ní online lórí platform yìí àti àwọn tó sí lórí ẹ̀ tí wọ́n pera wọn lọ síbẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti lọ dìbò. Kò wá ń ṣe yẹn nìkan. Àbéèrè náà tún wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ Linda Ìkejì pé ṣé kí gbogbo wa ká remain one àbí kólúkálukú máa lọ kí a lọ máa dá ọmú ìyá wa gbé. Ní orí ọ̀dọ̀ Koikimedia tí àwọn náà gbé poll jáde. Poll yẹn béèrè pé ṣé kí gbogbo wa ká separate, ìyẹn àwa Yorùbá, Igbo, Hausa àti àwọn ẹ̀yà tó ń bẹ nínú Nàìjíríà ká lọ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè as an independent country. And the result is also very clear. The result says 90.7% yes, 2.1% no, 1% wọ́n náwọn ọmọ, 6.2% wọ́n ní union yẹn kò ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ dìbò lórí ti survey tó wà lórí Twitter, ẹ lọ sórí Koikimedia níbi tí ẹ ti máa jàǹfààní láti lè jẹ́ kí vote tiyín náà kó wà counted. Torí pé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan báyìí náà ni ara ìdí tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ṣe ń sọ pé 100% separation. Everyone should go on their separate ways. We are not one and we can never be one. That is coming from triple DRS. Eléyìí ni a fi ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé there is no amount of time to waste in this fake union that the British forced on everybody that has failed, that has never worked, and these are part of what George Akinola said in 2007 when people were asking whether we should remain one or not. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ bí George Akinola bí ó ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ ní ìjọ náà lọ́hùn nípa pé this union tó ń pè ní the 1914 amalgamation is fake and it can never work. Let's listen.
Impediments to Yoruba development is the impediment to Oodua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end. Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Oodua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
If you have not cast your vote, it will be of interest to do so along the line of these independent blogging platform that posted this video with question around it, whether the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Hausas, and all the other indigenous people that lives within Nigeria should go their separate ways. And we do not want anyone to talk about what about the smaller indigenous people. Greenland is less than 60,000 people. They have their own economy, their passport, their currency, their president, their governors, people that manage themselves within the 60,000 citizenship or citizens. The smaller indigenous people within the context of Nigeria can also be an independent country without any doubt around that. But before we go further, let's listen to how some of those lawyers, some of those that knows what it entails to allow people to decide whether they want to stay together or they want to go separately. So we're going to first look at a constitutional lawyer, Kunle Adegoke, that talked about keeping us together in a fake union can bring a lot of issues that could end up to become where we are not safe. 29,000 Yoruba people have been killed while Buhari was in power. 15,000 have died since Tinubu became the president. There is fight between the Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, Fulani, who becomes the next president. All these will not happen if everybody have their own independent country. We will go and sort that out within our own country. What are the reasons why we want to go? It is not because we are not happy with the current structure of Nigeria, it's because our identity was stolen by the British.
If the Constitution maintains by Section 2 that Nigeria is one indissoluble nation and doesn't provide for means or procedure by which a people or a particular sector of the nation, Constitution maintains by Section 2 that Nigeria is one indissoluble nation and doesn't provide for means or procedure by which a people or a particular sector of the nation, a federating people, can choose to say at this particular point we want to have a nation of our own, and it doesn't provide for a peaceful means by which this can be guaranteed. There will always be frictions that will be leading to violence, killings, and bloodshed. And to avoid this, it is imperative that we look at that provision of Section 2 that says that Nigeria is one indissoluble, indestructible entity that doesn't make provision for the procedure by which a people can advance the right to self-determination. There have been many occasions where, on so many occasions we hear from the Arewa People's Congress or whatever agitating that yes, if Nigeria cannot work, they want to go on their own. The Biafra agitators are there. We have the Odua nation and what have you. If the Constitution provides for a procedure to determine peacefully whether a people can separate from Nigeria, you see that some of these agitations might be completely quenched. For instance, let me give you one. Tomorrow now, if we provide for referendum or plebiscite, these are political procedures for determining whether a nation or a nation in a country, because I want to take the definition of a nation here to mean the ethnic nationalities, maybe the Yoruba nation, the Igbo nation, the Arewa nation, or Ijo, Ibiobio, and what have you. Now, if a people can be entitled to right to call for plebiscite that can be supervised by international organs like the United Nations and what have you, it can be safely and easily determined that, okay, these people in this particular area has done in 1960, in 1959-60, if my recollection is right, with the people of the southern part of Cameroon, who formed part of Nigeria before, but when they decided that no, they wanted to be on their own, then a plebiscite was conducted, and they were able to have a separate nation of their own. If we say Nigeria is an indissoluble entity and will not tolerate any agitation by which people can determine whether they want to be on their own, definitely we are only calling for crisis on our own earth. Tomorrow now, if you subject it to plebiscite, that okay, people of the Igbo nation should decide whether they want to be part of Nigeria or they want to have a nation of their own. You might find a situation that the majority may say they prefer to be in Nigeria rather than having a Biafra. And that will silence the people who are agitating. And if people who are agitating are in the majority by virtue of the plebiscite, why not allow such to just take place peacefully, so that there is no sense in remaining one single entity by force that may lead to bloodshed and what may even be characterized as genocide, because a situation where that is allowed, then we have descended below the level of humanity. So these are some of the provisions. Going to the political level, to some of the political angle.
It was very clear by this constitutional lawyer that we should be allowed to decide if we want to remain one. But those that are still forcing the union together, that was put together under a fraudulent way, might end up facing bigger consequences as time goes. It is still great that we are still want to look into this issue diplomatically, politically, to allow a peaceful exit through plebiscite, referendum, or it might end up like a Yugoslavia where it will become a bloodstream. And we all know that it is pushing towards that end, because the Fulani agenda that wants to massacre, kill many people, as the Nigerian government can no longer keep up with them, many indigenous people do not want to remain in such a union. Rather, we are all living denial. If we do not want Nigeria to end up as Somalia,
if you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia, and today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try. If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia, and today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction, and there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
Why do we then want to allow the destruction if it can be done peacefully? Also, this union that kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, that continue to force him to relinquish his quest to self-determination, is not going to happen, because there's no amount of time of keeping him that will end the agitation of the United States of Biafra, as they have declared. Whether you agree with that declaration, proclamation, is entirely up to you. But it has proved that the union that keep us together is no longer working. And it is stated here from what Tunde Edno posted 7 hours or probably a little bit more yesterday, with the question is, do you all agree or support the statement of Sunday Igboho that Nigeria should separate peacefully? And 84% Nigerians agree So it is no longer about Sunday Igboho or Nnamdi Kanu now. Many Nigerians have agreed that the union has failed. Let's listen to one more video because, like I said, it's just 60 minutes with Koikimedia this morning, Friday, the 10th of January, 2025, 12 minutes before 6 a.m. Let's listen to this particular clip. This was the question that, can this be done without a war between Nnamdi Kanu and Dele Momodu? And Nnamdi Kanu stated clearly that it can be done without a war. And that's exactly what Baba Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, has been doing to make sure that the Yoruba people understand clearly Nigeria. This interview was put together by Dele Momodu, the bitter truth. Who created Nigeria? The white man created Nigeria, and we're not sure why the black man continues to love what the white man created. Can I create a country here in the UK? I'm sure the answer is definitely no. Let's listen to this clip, and then when we come back, we'll read more from the comment section of Sunday Ednot and also Linda Keji before we bring the program to an end.
It is not in their hands because you know what? Power belongs to the people. Anything we want is what we're going to get.
Once again, I want to ask this. Do you think this dream is realizable without a war? And are you prepared to fight another war?
This dream can be realized without a war. And let me put it this way, as soon as the people, the various ethnic groups in Nigeria realize what Nigeria means to each and every ethnic group, they will subscribe to our position. So it is realizable without a war. Before the white man came, let me ask you this, because it's an interview, which means you can ask me questions and I can ask you. Before the white man came, was there any Nigeria? Before the white man came, did Nigeria exist? It's a simple question that I'm asking you. Dele, did Nigeria exist before?
It didn't, no.
It didn't exist. Then why are African people, black people dying over something that they did not create? Did any Yoruba man create Nigeria? The answer is no. No Igbo man created Nigeria. No Hausa man did. No Fulani man did. No Kanuri man did. No Jukun man did. When you come to Nigeria, it's always a debate about it is our turn. It is our turn. It is our turn to rule. Now there are over 250 main ethnic groups in Nigeria. If you keep rotating the presidency every 8 years to each and every ethnic group, times 8 by 250. How many years are you going to get? So some people will die many times over. They will reincarnate many times over. The presidency hasn't come to them. Nigeria is a joke and an absolute mess. It was not created by black people. Therefore, it cannot be sustained by black people. I want to see an Africa where a Yoruba nation, a Yoruba mega nation extends from Togo all the way to Edo State. That's what I want. Because that is authentic Africa. I don't know why Africans are so beholden to something that is alien to them. Are you a white man? The lugard that created Nigeria is a white man. What are you doing as an African defending something that a white man created out of, should I say, a racist intent? Nigeria was an ordinary company, Royal Niger Company, an ordinary business venture that the British converted into a nation. And Africans are killing themselves trying to maintain something that a white man created. Sometimes I wonder what type of God made African people. I don't understand it. And that is why you have this neo-colonialism. That is why the British High Commissioner had to go to Tinubu to ask him, how do you end this protest? Because if this protest continues, you're jeopardizing our oil. Nnamdi Kanu can use it as an advantage to go and get Biafra. They ask the army to go in and kill people. You people are being ruled by your colonial masters. Your fate is not in your hand. You're in a country that is 60 years old, so to speak. There is no electricity. If I am a Nigerian, I can't come out and say I'm a Nigerian. I'll be ashamed of myself. For 60 years, you have no electricity. For 60 years, no good roads. For 60 years, no good schools. For 60 years, your politicians are traveling abroad for medical treatment. I ask you, what is there to be proud of about Nigeria? Name one thing you can be proud of. Name one thing. It's a question I'm asking you, Dele. Tell me one thing you can be proud of in Nigeria.
Nigerians are amongst the brightest people in the world, including the Igbo people, of which you are one. You are a very brilliant man. That is Nigeria in your DNA.
I was born a Biafran, not a Nigerian. Nigeria is a historical mistake.
Was there a birth certificate at that time that wrote Biafra on it?
Of course, yes. You want me to show you? I will show it to you. I can email it to you. It's not here with me right now. I can email it to you. My person is Biafra.
I don't mind.
I will email it to you. So you see, what I'm asking is, if Nigeria never existed until the white man came, why are you as a black African man defending it? What's a white man created? Why? When you have Yorubas in Benin Republic, Yoruba is in Togo, they speak your language, they eat your food, they dress the same way you do, you have the same culture, the same value system, the same orientation, and I'm asking you, and the white man came from Europe and said, oh, you are Yoruba from Togo, you speak French. You're Yoruba from Benin Republic, you're going to speak French. But you, Dele, you're Yoruba from Nigeria, you speak English. Are people not perturbed by that? That level of dehumanization, that level of subjugation. You see, the one thing that shocks me about Africa and their class of intellectuals is the fact that they are willing to swallow hook, line, and sinker anything the colonial master gives to them. And I've asked you this very question. Can you go to Europe and create a country as a black man? The answer is no. Then why must you accept what a white man is doing in Africa? Do you see why we are poor and very backwards? Do you see why Nigeria can never have 24 hours of electricity? Never, ever, ever, ever. Because the foundation is faulty. The orientation of Fulani Janja, people were protesting SARS killings in the south. Fulani people in the north, you are busy having fun and laughing and smiling. And you want to be in the same country with them. Your value system, your reasoning, your understanding, your orientation can never ever be the same. Never be the same. Why did Britain leave the EU? Then I'm asking you, are they not Christians? Are they not Democrats? Are they not, don't they believe in free trade and voting people in and voting them out? But then why did Britain leave the EU? Why? The same Britain that left the EU is asking me not to leave Nigeria. Nigeria that is only 100 years old. Your grandfather was not a Nigerian. Was not. So why must you throw away the history of your family, the rich history of Yoruba people? Because a white man called the place Nigeria. Why must you do that? Why? Can I go to England and name them and name them Albania and say all your history is now gone? We are doing our ancestors a disservice. And let me tell you why Black Africa cannot go forward. Some people, not you, some people accepted this nonsensical balkanization of Africa with their useless flag independence. And your ancestors are in the grave. Your ancestors that existed before the white man was born, they're in the grave. You jettison their history and their identity. You banish it, you denigrate it, you insult them by accepting this garbage called Nigeria, and you want them to be happy with you. That is why no Black African country can see development.
Wow, that was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that was kidnapped, renditioned back to Nigeria by the Fulani terrorist Muhammadu Buhari, dead or alive. And Tinubu, another drug baron, refused to let him go. Let's quickly read some of the comments because we have 10 minutes or less It's a 60-minute with Koikimedia this morning as the question continue on the lips of many Nigerians. These are some of the reaction of the comment, and we read it as we have them, and there are many comments that have gone through. This individual says, people don't understand people don't they understand small, with reply underneath. That was Joe Pell on the Tunde Edna page. People don't understand the thing be say nothing go happen. Don Chris says, you get it. Kings Shole says, if you know the man in the video, you go know say he no want anything called Nigeria at all. They even jail him for asking for separation. This one not like Nigeria for 1 second. Ade Omo Adebayo say, I support the split because we are not one. Mayor Money say, I support him with 3 reply underneath. It is Captain says, I pray for connection, Lord. TG Leno says, with a thumbs up. Stan Mochifu says, Nigeria is not working for the poor, but it is working for the political elite, and the political class holds the power to unity or separate it. If we separate the political class, we become poor, poorless and irrelevant, and the people will become rich. So the best bet is should be united for politicians to be rich and the people poor. Kid Soul says, me too, I want my own country. I don't tire for this, everybody. With a reply, I will name mine United States of Tico. And Alaji Kabo says, Otutu Bere Abi, I no one year justice for anybody in this 2025, but you really make sense, Sha, with about 15 reply. David Morris say, we retalk, direct, no they use scope. We need to support this man, but time never reach. Mazi K77 say, way they meant he thought Unado understand his word, Otutu Bereni. Famo Temi says, the only topic that brings the BP of all the northern Nigeria to the highest level is split. Nigeria will never become a better country with the mentality of the northern Nigeria, and the Nigerian youth today believe so much in fraud and not a legitimate work anymore. That is why someone will become a politician, and then he or she will come to steal, and steal till he or she die, and eventually give all the looting to strangers. Very disgusting leaders and nation. Ali Gama say, and he's talking about this abroad with a foreign passport mostly, with a reply, yes, because he wants you to have a good life too. That is coming from official Sonki. Onye the official says yes. And also on Comrade says, I support his views. We take 2 more and we go to Linda KG and see what they're saying there as well. Fire Bade says, I support the split. If we can split, let's have the United Kingdom template. Nigeria, big country, and we can have Odua Republic, Biafra, Arewa, Middle Belt, like we have England, Scotland, Wales, and also the rest of the other Northern Ireland. Let's quickly look at how the reaction is coming from Linda KG as well this morning. Under Linda KG, can anyone translate in full text? And this one says, if the government isn't working, why not share the country Yoruba, Igbo, and the rest should be on their own? Is saying they should share the country. Chi Zose, like Yoruba and Igbos are not the only ethnic groups in Nigeria. It is better they do the division so that everybody can face what is facing them. Emma Agada say, okay, they don't settle this one. And also Onye says, as very simple as ABC. Olajumoke Giwa say, the bitter truth. Ivy Parsley says, same thing Nnamdi Kanu said, they lock him up since 2021. Sunday Igboho or Sunday has been saying it and working freely. With about 19 reply. And this one's Rotimi says, Kanu asks his group IPOB Biafra to kill uniform men. They are not the same. Glitz and Glamming Air says, were you in the rock when he was arrested, or brain no fit think? Bugatti says, stop telling lies. Mitchell say, if na Igbo talk am now, they go run put down for prison. Mistrade with 2 reply. And this one says, Sunday isn't using his own to incite killings like Nnamdi Kanu. And Chima Obi says, did Nnamdi Kanu buy your family? Ewu Oye. And Mesedo 24 says, yeah, Inga Kasongo. I don't understand what the language is all about. And then this is preaching apartheid, and it is not the solution. We all need one another. We should focus on classism instead. With 13 reply, and they says, your mom too much to fuaka. You need woo and woo, according to Stephanie. And the rest also say one another weary. And then this one said they will offer him money again. He will keep quiet. Learn from Nnamdi Kanu. And this one says most unreliable human talking from no side of his mouth. With a reply underneath that says, really? And this one's Bragado says, we fall. This one says, this man na illiterate with ideas of his, with 12 reply. And this one says, you are here to answer the question I asked, smart one. This one says, you are just a product of the long-term effect of Atlantic slave trade, colonialism, and religion in Africa. When you have a condition to live like slave animals in your own land, anything relating to actual freedom, independence, or autonomy will become a taboo to you. That is exactly what is happening to you so-called Nigerians. This one says, Peter Obi there and replace him with their Tinubu Mugu, Orieti Buru. And this one says, I have always said this. It is the only way things will work for everybody. Trade and commerce technology can still be exchanged. Time to break up. And also on the Twitter that was posted by the Koikimedia yesterday, few replies, not much, but it's just about the vote. So that is how far we can take you this morning on the Koikimedia network, and we hope you've enjoyed the discussion about whether Nigeria should remain one or it should be allowed to dissolve without bloodshed. And that is exactly what we do on this platform. We keep you posted, we educate you, we prepare your mind for what is about to come up, because the end of Nigeria is getting closer. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Have a very good day ahead. And remember to follow us on all our channels. We are no longer streaming on the Koikimedia Live, as we said, on YouTube, but you can watch all our live on the WD76 Media, the backup YouTube channel, while we continue to post the video of the recorded back to the Koikimedia. You can also remember to donate generously to this organization. You can do so with those account details. It helps us to continue to work hard and provide all the necessary information across to you, and to challenge the mainstream media that the politicians, criminals like Tinubu and the rest of them are using to deceive Nigerians that Nigeria is still a great country. Nigeria is a fake country that was created by Britain, and it must now end for the unity of everybody to come true. Have a very good morning and enjoy the rest of the day. This is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. We'll catch up later, but for now, I can't mention all the names of everybody on the thread, but all I can say is you are all well represented in every part of the world that you are. And remember that if you don't do anything now, the self-determination will slip away again, as the 2027 criminal politicians are preparing to start donating akara, bread, and moi moi for the next 4 years. So we can do everything to stop them now, but it can only be done with the percentage of people that do not want Nigeria to remain as one. Good morning, and bye for now.
See